Welcome to episode 4 of PHP Fundamentals. Today we're going to talk about strings. What is a string? Well, a string is simply a series of characters. Strings are widely used in computer programming, so it's very important that as a developer you learn how to initialize strings, how to manipulate them. And because they are so important, PHP has given us a whole bunch of functions to make our jobs easier when using and manipulating strings. In this episode, we're going to learn about several of those functions. We're also going to learn about variable interpolation and how to escape special characters. Let's take a look at some code. In this file, we have the first thing we're going to do is we're going to show you how to initialize strings. Now you can do it in two different ways, within single quotes and within double quotes. Let's go to our browser and let's see. Okay, this first echo statement on line 14 will output the name, the value of the variable, right? The variable name, the value of the title variable, and these separate chunks of strings. Now remember, in last episode we learned that these were called arguments, and we used them with constants. We can also use them with variables, as we're using them here. And so the output for this first statement is the first line here. Now we also, if you remember, talked about enclosing this whole line in a single set of single quotes. And look at what happens. This is the output for that second line. So, and as you can see, the variable name and the variable title were written just as you see them here. You did it. So what was output to the screen was the name of the variable instead of its value. And that's what happens when you use single quotes. Now, to solve this problem, we simply surround the whole thing with double quotes like we did here. And once again, we have this third line, the output that we desire. All right. Now let's talk about how, if we can have quotes within quotes, right? How do we go about to be able to output something like that? So the way we do it is, for example, this is the inside quote, right? Mark Twain once said, "The report of my death was an exaggeration." All right, so we have the inner quote right here, and it's enclosed in double quotes, and we have the larger quote, the whole statement, enclosed in single quotes. And so that gives us the right output. Okay. Conversely, you can use double quotes on the outside and single quotes on the inside. So the one thing to remember is that you cannot have, for example, double quote, single quote, double quote, single quote. That would cause that wouldn't give you the output that you need. If you're going to enclose a set of single quotes, then the double quotes have to be on the outside. Now, there's another way to do this. And let's see. And this has to do with escaping certain characters in PHP. So characters like the / and single quote character, and other special characters like the $, for example, they need to, in order for you to be able to print them to the screen, they need to be escaped. And the way we do it is we put a /. So we have an echo statement here. with the output that will be Arnold said, "I'll be back," right? We want this part to be enclosed in single quotes. And since the whole thing is being enclosed in single quotes, we need to escape this. And we use a / to be able to print these single quotes to the screen, as well as this one right here. So whenever you want to print a single quote that is enclosed in single quotes, then you use this / the same is true for just a / like in this statement, the file path is C:// myfile.php. In order to be able to print this to the screen, you need to escape it with another /. Now these are the only two that you will be able to do within single quotes. You cannot print, for example, a $, within single quotes, even if you try to escape it. This is one example right here. The book costs $20, enclosed in single quotes. This is the output. If you want the $ to appear as it should, then you need to enclose the whole thing inside double quotes. Now let's learn about string concatenation. What does that mean? What is string concatenation? Well, what it is putting a bunch of strings together, like adding them together. We have 3 variables here. The value of the first variable is I, second like, and the third PHP. Now you can either output using an echo statement. You can output 3 different variables, or you can concatenate them, put them together, add them one to the next. And so we created a 4th variable to put these 3 variables together. And the way you do it is with the dot. This is the dot operator. This is the concatenation operator that is used for strings in PHP. Other languages have the plus sign, like Java, if I'm not mistaken. And in this case, we not only are we concatenating 3 different variables, but 2 spaces in between single quotes. So we're using a variable, a value here, another variable, another value, and another variable to create a single variable that we output to the screen. In this case, I like PHP. Now let's talk about some of the most common string functions that are provided by PHP. Let's take a look at some code. Let's open that file, string functions. Okay. Now the most common, there's first I want to say there's about maybe at least 50 functions, if not more, PHP functions with which you can manipulate strings. You're probably not going to use most of them, and these are the most common ones. We have the first echo statement here. In the output is, I really like this PHP course. Now this string, we're going to find the length of it. And to do that, we use the strlen function, string length function. All you have to do is enter the string inside either single or double quotes, and this is the output that you have. In this case, 30. Another useful function is string word count, str_word_count. Once again, you enter the string as an argument. You pass the string as an argument to this function, and the result is 6. In this case, there are 6 words in this sentence. Now some other functions, you can reverse a string, the order of a string. I like this PHP course, and if you are able to read backwards, I don't think too many people are able to do that, you will be able to read, I really like this PHP course. Another very useful function is strpos, or string position. And this takes two arguments. The first one is the string, right? And the second argument is going to be a portion of that string. And what this is going to give you is the first position of the starting substring that you want to find. So if you want to find where this begins in the larger string, you use this function, and in this case the output is 19. A couple of other string functions that may be useful is string repeat. You enter a string and how many times you want to repeat it, and this is the output that you get. Replace, also you can replace part of a string with another. So let's take a look at this. We have our variable apple, and the value of it is an apple a day will keep the doctor away, right? Now we can replace, and instead of saying an apple a day, we can enter this, right? Now notice carefully that there is a space here. You have to be careful when you replace a chunk of a string for another. And this is this string where the replacement takes place. When we output this to the screen, this is what we get. A beer a day will keep the doctor away. Of course, that's not true. Just stick with your apple and you'll be better off. Well, this is it for episode 4, strings. I hope you liked it. I hope you enjoyed it. Goodbye, and I'll see you in the next episode.